If we want to discuss the mycotoxin blood analysis, I think first of all we need to discuss the issues with mycotoxin feed analysis. Mycotoxin feed analysis is still the golden standard. However, the issue with mycotoxin feed analysis is first of all the fact that a batch of feed is mostly quite heterogeneously being contaminated. You might have some certain called hotspots. Certain places in your feedlot might be having a high contamination, others very low non-contamination. Then is of course the question how to take a proper feed sample. So you have to take, depending if you are sampling a truck, if you are sampling a boat, you have to take many sub-samples to have a representative sample. Because if we look to the error in mycotoxin feed analysis, I think the majority, almost up to 70% or even more, of the problems is related to bad sampling. So therefore it's very important to sample your feed correctly. Of course, if you keep on sampling a lot of feed, you get a good idea about the situation in the field. What can then be the added value of mycotoxin analysis in the blood? Of course, because in some cases you'd expect a problem in a farm, but there is no feed anymore available to sample, to analyze. So you get an idea, are my animals being exposed to mycotoxins by analyzing mycotoxins in the blood? However, the current issue with mycotoxin analysis in the blood is that it's still hard to make a correlation between the levels in the blood and the levels in the feed. This is related, of course, to how much of the mycotoxin is absorbed, when did the animal have access to feed, or when did, because of course you have a kinetic profile, and besides this, you also have sometimes recirculation. The bile also plays there an important role. So the correlation between the level in the blood and the level in the feed, it's at the moment still difficult to make. Of course, from the other hand, of course, if you detect them in the blood, you definitely know, yes, my animals are being exposed. So it's from that end an interesting matrix to be used. Both are very interesting to do, but of course the interpretation should be accordingly, and you should take into account the issues that you have with mycotoxin analysis in the blood, but also the mycotoxin analysis in the feed, definitely there, because it's a very heterogeneous contamination, and a proper feed sample is sometimes an issue. In general, I would say it's important for the field to follow up mycotoxin contamination from the raw materials, that you know also from where you're buying your raw materials, that there are now also like, for example, programs based on artificial intelligence who are able to predict mycotoxin contamination. This kind of tools can also be used to estimate mycotoxin contamination, and all these different tools you should use to keep track on what mycotoxin level can we expect and how should we formulate our feed based on this, or should we include the feed additive or not based on the expected or the measured levels of mycotoxins. And then I think they all have their pros and cons, I would say.